Long ago, 5 men set out from their own paths to achieve their own destinies. Now they are brothers, united under one cause. Alone they are strong, together they are unbreakable. They are bonded by metal.
Hey, welcome back to Bonded by Metal. And we have a bit of a doozy of an album. This is a band who definitely is no short of their controversies over the years. Quite a bit of them. And it's usually mostly musically related, if not all of them. But for some people, valid reasons, some not. We're going to be in the category where it's kind of, sort of, maybe, yes. This is obviously, we're talking about Dimmu Borgir. This is their first album in 8 years, Grand Serpent Uprising. And I was like, I'll give it a shot. I don't hate the newer stuff, but I don't really love it either. Like, I heard the other album, funny enough, 8 years ago. Wasn't really wild about it. I just kind of thought it dragged. I thought Abrahadabra had a few good songs. In Sorteo
That's
was
such
okay.
a horrible album title.
But I agree on that. But album-wise, I thought it was fine. And Sorteo was okay. Death Cult was probably the last good one, but I prefer like the pure what's that one called? Right before Death Cult. I'm already blanking here.
Not
It
Enthroned
came out
Darkness
01.
Triumphant.
Say that, Ked?
Not Enthroned Darkness Triumphant.
No, which obviously is a much, much, much better album. Anyways, it's a conversation for another day. Let's talk about Grand Serpent Uprising. So I just want to get off the bat. We have an opener, and like most bands, you have an opener, starts off in a way of building up anticipation. Okay, great. Only issue is it doesn't really build up excitement in me. Is it because this Dimmu Borgir? Maybe. So then you get onto the next song, Ascent, and I'm thinking, there's some Cookie Monster vocals in here. And I'm like, there's some Cookie Monster vocals? I don't recall Cookie Monster vocals. Do you recall Cookie Monster vocals in previous Dimmu Borgir, Mr. Imperitus?
Not offhand. Maybe like a growl here or there, but not anything excessive. I mean, overall, no.
Yeah, not the worst thing, but definitely something that seems off for Dimmu
Eyebrow
Borgir. But
raising.
yeah. So, I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's some hope here. Maybe there's some hope here. So I'm thinking, okay, the album's going on now. Now we're in this song called like the Crypt Fair. I'm like, I'm not feeling this, dude. I am not feeling this whole thing with the synths mixing with the faster parts of the song. It's like they're going from the symphonic black metal to this melodic symphonic black metal, which is just two words to this, like too many words to describe this, but it's also accurate, especially when you hear songs like As Seen and the Unseen. You're like, dude, this doesn't fit. This feels almost like a big mismatch here. What are your thoughts on these songs as you're hearing these like fast parts blending in with these melodic parts? For me, it's a giant mismatch. Where are you at, Imperitus?
I kind of agree to a certain extent. Because you do have bands like Emperor who've done that in the past. And that's once, what is it, Ascension or Ascent? I heard that. I'm
Yes.
like, wow, who knew Emperor put out a new album? I am not huge on modern Dimmu Borgir, and I'm gonna repeat myself, and I'm probably gonna end up doing this on almost every fucking video we do. I love when bands have a distinct sound.
You have been very consistent on that take. Go on.
First two Dimmu Borgir albums had a distinct sound in a big way. They released their third album, Enthroned Darkness Triumphant, and as my buddy Rob from Morpheus Descends, talking about Rob Yench, he showed me the band photo for that album. The amount of hysterical laughter coming from me, him, and one of the other members of Morpheus Descends, it was rattling the windows. We were laughing so goddamn hard. And I coined a term, not coined, but as a term I've used since then to describe them, as they turned into Hot Topic metal.
Yeah, especially when you compare it to what they were and then what they have become. Yeah, it definitely is. I could see why someone would say in the grand scheme of things, when you put it next to J-Lo, sure, yeah, it's not. But when you see what Dimmu once was to what they are now, it absolutely is. It is not even up for a debate on this sound and how much it's really neutered.
they tried aping Cradle of Filth with their look,
Uh-huh.
for a while there, and once Cradle fell out of favor, they changed their look.
Yeah.
Now they're also trying to ape Emperor in some ways, which there's worse bands to try to
Oh,
copy.
yeah. No. And you
But
you
if
did
you're going
bring
to
up a
copy a
good
band
point.
of that kind of status,
Mhm.
have the talent to back it up.
You brought up a good point with Emperor and how they kind of blended Moloch and fast parts. I do feel like one, they did it better. Two, I feel like they pulled off in a way that it fit.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like a giant mismatch. This feels like something that I would have heard in one of those like bands, comparatively speaking, like more something like Nightwish or Epica or Current Year Flush God Apocalypse, where they
Kind of,
rely
yeah.
heavy on the symphony and melodic parts,
Yeah.
whereas the heaviness is definitely still top priority in Emperor. In this stuff, the melody and the symphony stuff are the priority, and the heaviness is more of like a secondary thing. At least that's my perception out of this.
Yeah, I don't really disagree. There were some parts I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just it. It was parts of a song,
You had
not
the
the
same thing too.
there was parts of like, oh, that's kind of cool. And yeah, I'll do that even for songs and bands that I like. Like, oh, that part was really cool. But I also generally also like that entire song to go with it, not just that small little part that they did something really cool in.
I can name you 3 songs where there was one good song and then 2 songs where they had parts of good songs, at least in my opinion. I liked Repository of Divine Transmutation. It had like a bit of a black and roll sound, and I
Mhm.
dig black and roll, so I thought that was actually a cool song. But that was, I think, the problem. It was a good song. I wouldn't call it a great song. And then you hear the Exonerated, and this is where I'm like, okay, this is where you hear the best and worst of the band in one song, because you have some really cool parts in the song, but it really gets dragged down by the melodic stuff. It really weighs it down. It's like, oh, this song has some potential here. And then you're, oh, no, 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 no. I guess it doesn't. I'm thinking, whoa, this is all the same song. And I get there are bands who can do a lot of different things, different genres, different ideas, you name the different whatever, and it's work. Like you could say a band like Yes or Mr. Bungle or Between the Bury Me. Those bands do those types of things and it fits better. For a band like Dimmu Borgir, it does not fit. Dimmu Borgir in this day and age want to be a lot of things. They want to be a little complex. They want to be fast. They want to be aggressive. They want to be melodic. They want to be slow. They want to be intense. They want to be accessible, then they don't want to be accessible. This is a band that wants to pull off way too many things, biting off way more than it can chew, and it does not work.
No, it doesn't. And I don't mind the synths because they were always kind of synth heavy.
Yeah, of
But
course.
if you listen to what they were doing with the synths in, like, say, their first 2 albums,
Mm-hmm.
For All Tid and Stormblast, and now it's the synths have just become way too much. I don't mind synth and black metal at all. Again,
Mm-hmm.
let's reference Emperor. They're just a band, and there was a bunch of bands when black metal kind of the second wave kind of really grabbed hold. After the church burnings and after all the shit went down, when bands we started hearing about the bands over here more regularly, there were a lot of bands who just kind of showed up out of nowhere, I believe, as how Fenriz from Darkthrone put it in an interview. It was the new thing. It was the new big thing in metal, at least in Europe. So they wanted to kind of grab onto that and sit there and be like, yeah, well, we're black metal. And a whole lot of those bands they still exist, but they're no longer black metal, let alone even metal.
Yeah, no disagreements there, no lies detected. It's a real shame because I don't feel like Dimmu Borgir have lost it. I'm not one of those guys where I feel like they have absolutely lost. And maybe you and I might think 2 different versions of lost it. To me, a band that is lost it is a band that when they try to do something that I know them for, even that doesn't work. There are parts that you and I mutually agree that could be cool in some songs, and it shows me that somewhere in there lies potential. And it feels like I don't know if they don't want to tap that potential or just the lineup is not what it once was from far way back when, that they just have way
Well,
different
no, there's a bunch
influences
of guys
compared
that
to
are no
what they are
longer
now.
members. ICS Vortex is gone. Galder is
Yes.
gone. You know, I think the only two actual remaining members that have been around since the inception are Shagroth and Silinos.
Yes. Yes. Selenos and Shagroth are the two remainders. Yeah, because I remember when Vortex left the band a while ago, I'm thinking, oh wow, that was sudden. Okay, yeah, I think you had the influences and the fact that it's clear these guys, even with the different influences, when they want to tap into the stuff that I would love from them, it's there. At least it can be. And I don't know if that's because they don't want to, or it's because they feel like they have such a different audience now that maybe to them it doesn't make sense, which is crazy talk to me. But I don't know why they don't go all the way with it, Imperitus. I really don't know why. Because do you feel like they have it still there if they choose to, or do you feel like they're way past the point of no return in terms of their heavy sound being there? Because I feel like I hear potential there.
There is potential there, but like you said, whatever the reason is, they don't want to capitalize on it. And it's
Mm-hmm.
something I think about, a lot of bands that have fallen into that category. It's like you could have something. All you need to do is tweak it. And I don't always have an idea of how they could tweak it. I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
musician. I'll be the first to admit it. I listen to black metal for fuck's sake. I think they just got a little bit too much of the limelight because they were one of those black metal bands that did get catapulted into a bit more of a mainstream showing.
Yes, they
Like I
did.
said, you could find their T-shirts and merch at Hot Topic.
Oh, I remember when that stuff was becoming part of Hot Topic. Started becoming part of Hot Topic right around the time it was the final days of when Hot Topic was all about the fishnets and the
Yeah, they tried lumping
super
it in with the
duper goth
goth.
stuff.
Yeah,
Super goth stuff. That was
and
Jinko, the
like the
last of the
only
Jinko
quote unquote
jeans.
metal bands you would see there would be Slayer because they were in pretty much
Of
every store that
course.
sold, Slayer. I say what you will about them, they're Slayer.
Hmm.
Cradle of Filth, again, the goth thing, and then Dimmu Borgir, and occasionally you'd see a Mayhem shirt,
Yep. I
and
did see
that's
one or
it's one
two.
of those things. It's like if you like those bands, you like those bands. I mean, I like the first two Cradle albums,
Hmm.
first two, maybe three, but after that, it's like, yeah, all right, enough of this.
Do you feel like you have a highlight of this album, or do you not?
Not really, no.
Mhm.
I mean, to be fair, I listened to it while I was at work today, and oh boy, that hour and 10 minutes really kind of dragged.
Hey, that's fair, man. I really tried with this one, not because I really wanted to find something to love. I gave it 3 listens because I don't want to like be the guy who hears it once. And I get it if someone doesn't want to hear it once, if it's that unbearable. But this is me trying to play optimist, trying to say, hey,
And
maybe
I'm
there's
not.
something here. Maybe it takes time to grow. 3 listens, dude.
No,
And
three
all I
listens is
could
a
get at
good
best.
amount because there have been plenty of albums in the past from plenty of bands in plenty of genres that when I first heard it, I was like, it's okay. And then I'd listen to it again, like, oh, okay. It kind of clicked a bit more. It's
No.
and this is how I described them going forward from Enthroned Darkness Triumphant, not just Hot Topic metal, but stereotype black metal.
Yes.
They do everything that they can do to go with all the tropes and stereotypes of what people think of when they think of a black metal band. And the problem is they're taking all these tropes, smashing them together, and nothing stands out.
This is not a polarizingly bad album. It's just not a good album. It's just not good. It's not something like Celtic Frost Cold Lake. It's not
No, it's not
Autopsy
Cherry Orchards,
Shitspawn.
Cold Lake. It's
Yeah, it's
not.
not Exodus Force of Habit. It's not
Oh,
polarizingly bad. It's just not good. It's not something you
it's
still
mediocre.
enjoy.
It's just mediocre.
Yes, I agree. It's just mediocre. And there's something that's really disappointing sometimes when something is just right there in the middle. And I could feel it with this one. And I hate that because once again, there are parts of songs that I like. With one song I do like, once again, Repository of Divine Transmutation, that was more black and roll. I can roll black and roll. I actually feel like they really fit that one very well in that song. But everything else about this is not an album that I want to go back to after giving it 3 listens. And yes, a lot of black metal bands, this is my final thought, a lot of them do have long albums that border anywhere between 50 and 80 minutes. This album makes me want it to end a lot sooner.
And it wasn't even that long in the grand scheme of things. You know, an hour, hour and 10. I think it's like an hour and 9 or some seconds.
Yeah, it felt like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I listened to it at work, and that hour just dragged. And normally with what I do at work these days, time rips right by. But this, I was just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. All I can say, folks, if you're listening to this, do I dislike Dimmu Borgir? No, I dislike modern Dimmu Borgir. If you want good black metal Dimmu Borgir, go with their first 2 albums, For All Tid and Stormblast. I think they're both available through Nuclear Blast these days.
Gotta get the original Stormblast, by the way. Don't get the redone version. Because did they redo that in like 05 or 06?
I know
I think they redid that.
I don't know if they redid it or just re-released it. I know there was some, because I know they
I
did
hope it was just re-released and not redid.
Because the For All Tid re-release is just that, a re-release with color on the cover. The original cover was black and white when they were on No Colors Records, who every album cover was black and white.
So, folks, this is our thoughts on Grand Serpent Rising from Dimmu Borgir. You can obviously tell we're not fans of this album. Why don't you tell us why you disagree with us in the comments on this video? I thank you for watching this video for this long, and thank you to Imperitus for joining me for this video. Hopefully, better luck next time, Norwegian dudes. Thank you for watching this video, and you lay down your souls to God's rock and roll.
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.